So one interesting project I was working on some time ago, which was actually outside this industrial domain, was a project in a collaboration with a company called NoFence. So what they develop is an Internet of Things solution, or in this case, actually, an Internet of Goats solution, uh, where they have this GPS collar worn by the goats when they're out grazing, which then tracks their movement patterns through GPS location and accelerometry data. So what we wanted to do here is to see if we can extract some useful information from all this data, which can tell us something about the health and well-being of the goats. And this is quite similar to something which is probably well known to many of you, which is these smartwatches, which many of us now have, which essentially tracks our movements and behavior through things like heart rate or movement patterns or sleep cycles, and then tries to make predictions on our health and well-being. So this is essentially what we wanted to do for the goats as well. So as an example, let's say your goat is out grazing on the field and it accidentally hurts its foot. And of course, being able to detect these kind of events and then alert the farmer that the goat has been hurt is very useful information. But of course, both from the financial point of view that you can take better care of your goats, but also from an animal welfare perspective. So more specifically, what we did in this project was to analyze these GPS and accelerometer data through unsupervised learning. And of course, all these data points represents a time series where you have all these points of data accumulated over time, which means you also have information about things like time of day, if it's in the middle of the night or if it's during daytime, which means you can then start to cluster these data to find all these different or typical movement patterns and how they change throughout the day. And also how this can tell you something about the well-being of the goats. So this was a very interesting project, both from a technological point of view, like analyzing IoT data from goats. But I think also it's a nice example of how we can use technology for a good cause. So using all these technological tools and then use it to improve animal welfare. So at least for me, from a personal point of view, working on this project, it was very rewarding both to work with exciting technologies and also a very rewarding use case.